Oh boy. Hey, you guys. Welcome in. I know a lot of you can't wait to get started on this chat right here because we got some bold stuff to talk about. And I gotta say, today's episode actually saved the entire week, in my opinion. It really has. And I'm gonna wait for you guys to get in here and we gonna talk about all of this craziness that happened on today's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful and the Young and the Restless. Hey, Vicky. Hey, welcome in. Hey, Melissa. Welcome. Oh yeah, I'm gonna wait for some of you guys to get in here. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in, you guys, before we get started. Hey, Keita. Hey, Crystal. Oh my goodness. Hit that like button on the way in. That is exactly right, Melissa. Hey, Joyce, Marion, Indigo Blue, Cynthia Chain. Yes, hit those like buttons. Yes, Soapies. We really ain't going to have a lot to talk about Y&R. I'm going to touch it briefly and we going to hit bold. So we're going to knock Y&R out the way first, and then we'll hit bold. So welcome you guys to Soap Corner Talk. My name is T. We're going to be recapping both The Young and the Restless, well, the little bit of it, and The Bold and the Beautiful for September 27. And we got a lot to unpack. Listen. Oh, we're going to talk about bold. I'm only probably going to spend maybe a good 5 to 7 minutes on Young and the Restless, if that, and then we're going to unpack bold. I know you guys couldn't wait to get in here, and it's 30 of you guys, and without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and knock out this situation with Sharon. We pretty much got a lot of flashbacks. I was wondering, were we going to really get some more in-depth content after what we saw on the Thursday, September 26th episode? And basically, it was just Sharon at Cassie's gravesite. And she had, I guess, her life flash in front of her eyes with everything from start to finish. From her being with Nicholas to finding out that she had a daughter, the situation with her mother. Fast forward to Nick and Sharon's relationship and marriage and the accident, which, caused a domino effect with everything else that happened up to this point. How, of course, Cassie came into their lives, how Cassie was in the accident, then Mariah came in. The prediction of Faith being born by Cassie. And then everything after that. And then, celebrating Sharon Case's 30th anniversary on the show. I actually did a little bit of research. She actually hit her 30th year on September 14th. So it looks like September 14th, 1994 is when she took on the Sharon Newman role on The Young and the Restless and was full-time there. I guess Sharon, the character, came on that summer of 94, and they tried several different actresses throughout. I think it was from March through September. It was several different actresses that they tried, and when Sharon Case came along, they locked her in, and the rest is history for the last 30 years. Yes, I think it was an Emmy winning performance, or at least Emmy nominating performance, especially yesterday's episode. I wouldn't be a bit surprised that they used that episode alone as part of maybe her Emmy reel. And you know what? For everything that they did in yesterday's episode, she deserves a nomination for that. I thought it was an awesome episode, to say the least. Yes. Hey, Brooklyn, Tanya, Mike Vales. Who else we got in here? Angela, Sandra. Yeah, it's just me today. You'll get to see Bree and J Money will be on with us tonight. As you know, our girl Keisha is heading off to go on deployment. So yeah, kudos for her for going out there and serving the country. So yeah, it's going to be interesting conversation tonight. So make sure you check out the weekly chat every Friday night, 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern. All right. So kudos to Sharon. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, especially since there were a lot of flashbacks. And we did see the preview for next week, where she shows up at the house talking about how she made a confession. We did see her come into the house at the end of the episode, and everybody was happy to see her, wondering where she's been. And woo chow. Nick, Faith, Mariah, she got a doozy for you. And I'm looking forward to seeing the Monday's episode, which I usually try to check out a day ahead, which if you are in Canada, you probably will get to see that today. And we get the uploads from different sites, of course, here in the States. So, yeah, she should get a nomination. Kudos and congratulations to Sharon Case on 30 years of Young and the Restless. And we'll see in 2025 if she gets a nomination. Yeah, Melissa Spencer said there's 20 likes and 59 people in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button because we got a lot to talk about as we switch over to the bold and the beautiful. Oh my gosh. So for the most part this week, and as we've been talking on our live chat during the lunchtime or midday, and even when Bree and I was on, what's today? Friday. When Bree and I was on Wednesday night, we were talking about how boring, Bold and the Beautiful has been for the last 4 days. And it's all been around none other than who? The situation with Taylor. Well. Today's episode pretty much saved the entire week on the Bold and the Beautiful. Yes. And you know what? I'm going to take a pause right here. I want to see how many likes we can get. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds before I dive into this. Because I want to, we got to dive into what happened today. We got some good content to talk about. So I'm going to give you guys about a good 30 seconds to hit that like button. And Melissa's going to be watching. Melissa and Vicky and a couple of the other folks, my regular soapies, my veteran soapies in here, they watching if that like button is being hit. Okay? So I'm going to give you a few more seconds before we dive into hit that like button. Let's go chat. You at the daycare? Who your man? Hey, daycare kids. That's actually your screen name. That's different. We're at 26. It's 68 people in the chat, you guys. And we got 30 likes. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going to take a drink. All right. Oh, we will. I'm just trying to get the likes up. We will, Myra. We can talk about that. Keita, you funny girl. Let me see where those likes at. We only at 31. Okay, all right. I see what y'all doing. Okay, so first thing we want to talk about is Bridget is back. I was wondering what Bridget was going to be here for, because once we found out in mid-August that Ashley Jones was going to come to Bold, and we knew it was coming at the end of September, we didn't know if it was going to be for Hope. Is something wrong with her because of her behavior? Or we found out about Taylor. Explain to me how Molly... Yeah, well, listen. We'll get into that. But the reason that they brought Bridget over is because she knew JJ, which is that the guy Yoko Julesen, who's that Icelandic singer. And I think, what was the name of the song? Oh my gosh. And I know I said it in my spoilers last weekend. Anyway, somebody will drop it in the chat. But they brought her into the story by being not only a fan, but she actually know the artist. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. I thought maybe she was coming for a medical reason, but it was because of the artist of why she here. Now she might be sticking around based on what we saw with Taylor. But we already have two other doctors already on the show. So I guess it don't make a difference because we had two doctors last year when the situation happened with Eric Forrester. All right. Oh, way we go. Okay, got you. Way down, away we go. Okay, thanks, Melissa and Myra. So we got the artist, but before he came in, we saw this whole thing where Steffy is telling Hope after she saw Finn, so she, having some conversation with the artist, you need to stay away from my man. And she actually kicked Hope out. I was like, wow. She kicked the girl out the showroom. And my expectation is that Brooke was going to be upset. But Brooke didn't even care. Brooke was like, look, this is about me today. I don't care if Hope had to leave. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, girl, listen, Angela, Hope and Finn ain't got no connection. That is crazy. I don't know why they even saying that. You know how they are about their spoilers. Brooklyn said, come on, you ninja watchers. You know this drill. Please hit the like button. Exactly. But Steffi kicked Hope out, saying, now, you know what I told you. You want to keep your line? You need to stay away from my husband and respect my marriage. I'm like, did the girl have to leave? I mean, did you have to kick her out? But there was a reason to kick her out. And we'll talk about that. But what was going on in that showroom? I'm like, okay. And to me, even though the artist is a good singer and he got talent, I just don't think the genre of music matches with a fashion line. Usually when you think of fashion, if you've watched the Victoria's Secret fashion shows or you've watched different runway shows, the music is more electronic and it's hype. With fast beats and things like that. So, I mean, even though I was trying to relate the music to the bedroom line. And even if it's supposed to be slow and sensual, I don't know if his song made me think of, a relaxing summer day. Or, if you're with the family, maybe in the orchard. That's what it kind of reminded me of. I don't know. I could be wrong. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. I couldn't connect the artist with the bedroom line. That's the only thing. And, I could see upbeat music. Because when I think of bedroom line, I think of Victoria's Secret fashion show. And when they had the artist that was there, it wasn't slow music. It was more upbeat. And the girls are walking, really sexy or whatnot, And so I didn't get that part. But obviously, hey, he's a good artist. But I just don't think it fit it didn't fit what where they were trying to accomplish. But whatever. Moving on. Now, there was a conversation before Steffi went down talking to Taylor about, listen, Taylor, Mom, I understand that, you want to be here, but I don't know if you want to watch this because I know you got feelings for Dad. However, I'm telling you, Ridge and Brooke are going to be canoodling and kissing and all those types of things, right? And I'm like, yeah, Taylor, why are you there? And I know you're there to support your daughter, but why watch Ridge and Brooke? Even after everything was over and Ridge and Brooke were in the studio by themselves, why would Taylor watch that? Why would you watch that? And especially if you know that intense emotion and feelings could affect you. That didn't make any sense to me. You know. Let me see what y'all talking about. Y'all didn't like that song. I'm looking at the comment section. Y'all said that music was boring. There was no excitement. I'm not familiar with the artist. Maybe if they had models. I agree with that, Medora. Keita said a big disconnect for her. The song didn't make sense. Yeah, I don't know why they put that with the bedroom line. Now, I could see somebody like, somebody that have, and I don't want to put any music artists out there, but I could see, if not fast and upbeat, I could see slow and sensual because of the fact of the type of clothes that you're trying to do in this video. Oh, no worries, Gail. I'm late. I watched Y&R with Sharon. Yeah, I like Thursday episode better than I like Friday on The Young and the Restless. She rocked out yesterday. But anyway, and I'm like, Taylor, your daughter forewarned you, and you know that it's going to emotionally affect you somehow. So why would you not only watch them on the screen? She could have worked on some work. She could have did something totally different than to sit up and watch the two of them. And then you go downstairs and you're watching them around that curtain. And you see them kissing and canoodling and how Ridge just look like he is so in love and Brooke is so in love. And you watching all that happen and you collapse. Now, I did talk to my other panelists. Obviously, they're working during the day. And one of the things that I will bring up that they said, especially Bree and Keisha, is that they don't like the fact that they wrapped this situation on how she collapsed around Brooke and Ridge. So, yeah, it seems to do something with Taylor. She wanted Ridge to get me. You know what? I wouldn't be a bit surprised that this is where now something that she's been keeping a secret. They're going to be like, what's wrong with you? Now, if she comes through this, which obviously she probably will, she's probably going to be like, oh, I was hungry and my blood sugar got low and I kind of, I collapsed or passed out or whatever. And play it off, because I think I saw a spoiler about something next week where what's her name? Lee is going to be like, look, I can't keep holding this secret. So if she's still holding that secret, this collapsing of Taylor, maybe it just won't come out as of yet. So she probably going to get to the hospital. She'll probably tell the doctors you can't say anything. Maybe she'll get Lee to attend to her and say, please don't tell my family. I'll just tell them that maybe my blood sugar dropped or something. So, yeah, I didn't like the fact that, she collapsed over watching Ridge and Brooke. I'm like, really, writers? I mean, not because of them. And I gotta say, Steffy told her, maybe you should not watch this, because it's going to affect her. She already admitted in yesterday's episode that she was, she still got love for Ridge. So Steffy knows where her mom stands with regards to her feelings, and she was watching anyway, and now she's on the floor. And of course, Ridge is like, oh my God, Taylor, what's wrong with you? Wake up. What's going on? Yeah, Taylor do need to move on. She's been holding on to this situation for decades when it comes to Ridge. And Ridge is just a waffle king. If it wasn't for her storyline of this whole condition that she has, he would be waffling back and forth. He's been giving mixed messages since she's been back in town. Squeezing and rubbing on her leg and, trying to say, I miss you and I want you here and all of this kind of stuff. And I'm like, Reg, you just told Brooke that she was the love of your life. Come on now. Stop it. Get some help. As that Wheaties commercial that Michael Jordan did back in the day. But anyway. Yes, Tanika, I honestly believe this is probably another pity wedding. You know what I mean? For Taylor. And then what happens? What happens? Next thing you know, it's a situation where, I'm going to marry her. This is her last wish. And what happens? You save her and then she's stuck in a marriage with Rich? Who knows? Who knows what the writers are going to do? But I guess if anything kind of was an interesting twist on today's episode was that. But the biggest interesting twist on today's episode, which we have to unpack, and we knew this, I did a standalone video about this about 2-3 weeks ago when the teaser came out that Hope is getting a new man. And we said there's nobody new coming to the show, as we saw, except we knew that Elektra and Ivy was coming, right? However, no new man. And then we kind of, Bree and I and a couple of, and I think Keish, we kind of tossed around the idea of, could that be a cryptic spoiler? Could it be Liam and they just trying to dress it up? Or could it be somebody else? Originally, when I did my standalone video, I did say, and let me see, when did I do that video? Hold on. I will tell you. Hope's new man was on September 10th. That was September 10th. So, technically, 10, 17, 24. So, about 2.5 weeks ago, I did that video. And guess what we have? We have none other than Carter. Now, here's the thing. So, from what I understand, the season 38 started, I think, let me look at my calendar. I think it started it was on Monday. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. So, I think it was on September 16th. So, what I'm thinking, because prior to, we didn't see any iota of Carter having any interest in Hope. He was talking about how bad her line was doing. It don't make sense. And to my opinion, I honestly think, because I think they came back to work the first week of August, because they get a summer break in July. And they're 6 weeks ahead. So I think when they started to retape, they probably gave them this new storyline because this situation with Finn and Hope is going nowhere. Just like we saw in today's episode when Finn was talking to Steffy and Steffy told him, I told Hope to leave. And, Finn was like, why? Because is she a big fan of JJ? And she was like, no, because she a big fan of you. That's why I kicked her out. And he turned around and once again confirmed, he was like, you know what? Listen, I don't care what Hope does. I'm married to you. I'm in love with you. It is what it is. Point blank, period. Okay? So I think they decided to pivot because we had no indication prior to the end of season 37 that Carter was even interested. Now, we did get to see that back during the mystery with Poppy and the whole thing with Katie, when Katie came back on the scene during the summer, we found out that the two of them are just friends and that they're officially breaking up. They've been broken up, right? But now I think after they begin taping season 38, which started probably back in early August, which now takes us to the end of September, which would have been, if they taped this episode would have actually been taped somewhere around mid-August. So they pivot, and now we have a situation where we heard in today's episode, he comes over to Hope in the studio and say, are you okay? How you doing? And of course, that was before Steffi kicked her out. Now, while everything is going on downstairs, Carter decides to follow her up to the design office. And they have this conversation about, what do you think about my line? She was like, what's going to happen? What do you think I should do? You're the COO, And he said, you know what? I got an idea. It might not be what you expect, but just hear me out. And I got an idea. And when we came back from commercial, because we went through that whole song with JJ, and honestly, in my head, I'm like, can we get back to what's going on with Carter and Hope upstairs? When we get back to them, he tells her, maybe you should be in front and center in lingerie for Brooke's bedroom line. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I was thinking, and I don't know if you've heard Bree and Keisha and I've said over the past several weeks that maybe she should model the lingerie or something. And she was like, me, front and center, modeling lingerie. And he was like, yeah, you. And so she looked at him. She was like, so, have you been thinking about me being in a lingerie? And he looked at her, confirming that he has. And I'm like, okay, this is the new man. And I know we had several of us content creators, we've been tossing around possibly MIDDAY, but yeah, it looked like MIDDAY is not even on the radar. So that scratches that out. But I know Sandra said the lurkers are listening to you. I bet they are. I mean, like, we got 130 people in the chat and 50 likes, 49 likes. Oh, you got to be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me, you guys. Anyway, so he's been actually thinking about what Hope looked like in lingerie. And of course, we saw the preview next week where they were talking about, I don't know, what about an office romance? No, we couldn't do an office romance. And I'm like, y'all both need to stop. You had office romance Carter with Quinn, Katie, and who else? Zoe. Quinn, Katie, Zoe, and somebody else. And then, of course, Hope had office romances with both Liam, Wyatt. Well, they don't work there, but they will come into the office and, they'll play around with each other or whatever. And definitely Thomas. So I don't know what she's talking about. Talking about, oh, we couldn't have an office romance. No, not us. And I'm like, yeah, Paris. There you go. Thank you, Myra and Cheryl and Sandra. Paris Buckingham. So Paris, Zoe, Quinn, Katie, and I think that's it. Yeah. I know, Melissa. LaShanta. I'm sorry. LaShanta. They put Carter with anyone. They can't keep him with nobody. It's like it's like, oh, it didn't work out. Oh, it didn't. I think he had great chemistry with Quinn. But then when they cut Quinn, it was like she ended up breaking up and divorcing Eric, get with Carter, and then like 3 weeks later, she left town. Whatever, writers. However, here's my thing. Now, you guys, if you want to go to my Instagram, a lot of you do follow me on Instagram. There is a video of Quinn and Carter. And there were wall scenes and all types of things. And that man got abs for days. Abs for days. Okay? If he take that same energy that we saw with Quinn and Hope, which we know what she has done when it comes to Thomas and the energy that she brought. If they can put that same energy into each other, I honestly believe we could have a hot couple. Now, you might not agree with me. I might have an unpopular opinion. I don't know. But in my opinion, if he bring that same energy that he had with Quinn, and she brings that same energy that she had with Thomas, they could be hot together. I mean, I know some of y'all might not be feeling it, but I'm willing to give it a chance. I'm a true a soap fan. So, I mean, there are some folks that I'm just like, nope, nah, could care less, don't do it. Like I said, don't put Chelsea and Adam back together. Put Adam with Audra, because I know what they could bring collectively on screen. Okay? Just hear me out. Here's the other piece to this puzzle for Hope. If she realizes that, of course, Carter has been having some lingering feelings, he's finding her attractive, he also is the key possibly to help saving her line. And that'll shift her focus, because Steffy says that as long as, she stay away from Finn, Steffy don't care who she dates. Just leave her husband alone. So it removes her out of Finn's orbit if she goes diving, not literally, but if she goes into this whole thing with Carter, it removes her from Finn. It also gives her a key because, he's next in line to the CEO. He's next in line. She's dating the next number 2 of the company. He's next in line to the CEO. Now, I'm not saying this for her to move up or anything like that, but he got a lot of power, per se, in that company to possibly elevate her line. And if she gets into a relationship with him, they might not want to get married, because we remember, Hope don't want to get married. That's what she told Thomas. I don't know. That was 8 months ago. But if he's not looking for marriage and she's not looking for marriage, this might could work. It might could work. Okay. So I'm curious. But see, here's the thing, Brooklyn, because Brooklyn says Katie will interfere with Carter's interest in Hope. I don't think so, because they're pushing her over to Bill. They're pushing her over to Bill. The only person that I maybe would give her a problem, which I don't think so, because he got over Thomas and Hope, which was Liam. If Liam could get, ain't thinking about Thomas and Hope anymore, he probably would care less about Carter. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here for it. I really am. And if I have any writers or production team that is ninja watching my channel and this live or tonight's live, I'm here for it. And I'm going to do a poll right now in my chat. How many people want to see Cope or Harder? So Harter or Cope. Okay, those are the 2 names. Let me put it in the chat so you guys, and you can pick a name to see which one you like. Okay. All right. So if you want to see Cope or Harder, just choose one of those names. If you don't want to see these 2 together, just say no. No, 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 no. So no or Cope and Harder. Let me see what we got. He does look good, but they always make him play a loser in the love character. Well, he's the director. He's the writer behind the scenes. So Tanika, obviously he's choosing to be in that position. Okay, I don't see any no's so far. Uh-oh, they're the no's. Black, pink, me, indigo, blue, Diane DeVille. Okay. And let's give a shout out to J Money for that. He was the one that came up with the names. He came up with the names and I know maybe some other people in other soap media areas might have as well. But, oh, you know what, David? Listen. Here's the thing, David. And J Money, thank J Money for this, and he'll probably be, he will be on our pod tonight. He said this, and now let me know if you guys think this is funny. J Money said that if they do get into a, I'll just say, entanglement, if she whispers in his ear during the moment and say, harder, that could be twofold. She could be using their shipping name, or she could actually be saying harder. So J Money comes up with stuff like that. And then when he said that I've been thinking about you in your lingerie, and she looked him up and down when he said, well, maybe that's a bad idea. And she said, well, maybe that's not a bad idea at all. I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's go. David Hall, you like that, huh? If you're on the live tonight, I'm going to tell Jay about that. Jay said that was hilarious. If she whispered in his ear and say harder, oh my gosh. Listen, Tanika, I have no idea if Thomas is returning. Jasmine say harder is sexier than cope. I agree with you on that one. Jacqueline, it does sound hanky. Yes, it does. I'm excited, actually, because we need a little bit of fire. Daycare with kids is say no to the 10th power. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with these two. I'm looking forward to seeing, and I mean, Carter is very attractive. Very attractive. Yes, he is. You know what, David? You are absolutely right. Hope does get hooked on guys giving her compliments. She enjoyed the attention. Yep, of course, Medora. Hope is definitely going to go for that compliment. But when that man told her, I've been thinking about you in lingerie. Oh, man. That is, yeah. That's the type of stuff that you hear in soaps. They should have kept Wyatt. Seems like too many women and not enough men. Yeah, especially when they're bringing Ivy and Electra back. Well, here's the interesting thing, Gail, because Gail said, I wish Hope would have another baby. Well, the interesting thing is that Carter wants children. Now, she has one child with Liam and, of course, an adopted child with Thomas. But we have no idea when Thomas or any of them is coming back. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. But, yeah, I'm here for this. I'm looking forward to it. And I want to know what Bree, and I'm going to let you guys hear what Bree and J Money have to say about it. I gotta say, today's episode on Bowl made up for the rest of the 4 days this week because it was an absolute snooze fest Monday through Thursday. Now, what would be a twist, and I don't know if they do this because obviously sometimes people like the attention even if they don't want you. However, once that attention is no longer there, people feel like, oh, she's not checking for me no more. So it would be interesting if they made a twist where if Hope's attention is diverted to Carter, that maybe, Finn might be like, dang, she not talking to me? Oh, she interested in somebody else? Finn don't want Hope, but sometimes people like the attention. You know, remember that happened with Hope too, you guys. Remember that? That happened with Hope. When Thomas stopped giving her the attention, then she started, you know, she missed that attention from him. Hey Jay, come on now. I go live every day. I've been doing it every midday for the last 2 weeks. Jay Money is in the chat, you guys. Hey Jay, I told him about what you said about harder. Harter. Jay is going to be on tonight. He going to talk about all and everything that he has to say. Yes. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. Make sure you stay tuned and check out the live tonight. We're going to unpack the entire week for both shows. Yes, I did, Jay. I told him about what you said about whispering harder. Yep. All right, you guys. I'm going to end it right there. Make sure you're on the live tonight. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you're notified every time a video is posted. I am T from Soap Corner Talk. And until the next one, we'll see you all soon. Bye, Soapies.